Hello, we are here with our last showcase, number 16 of 16. This one is business development and entrepreneurship thinking. This is our deep dive showcase for the 2022 summer internship. I'm June Bea, CEO of Bea Group, and at Bea Group, we've been so fortunate to have been working with school districts for the last 7 years, and our relationship has been with Downey Unified for the last 7 years. We have been part of the MAID work experience in Downey for the last 7 years. At first it was in person, and then it evolved to become work from home once the pandemic happened. And then we also work with with Glendale Unified and Davis Joint Unified School District. So we have high school interns. They saw a job posting, they applied, they submitted a resume and did an interview with us. And then the last 6 weeks, they have been getting paid to do this internship. We start the first week of the internship with onboarding at Bea Group with some sessions on leadership, communication mastery. Every week they've had social justice in the workplace. And then starting week 2, we have industry professionals who work with them on one of 16 deep dives. So there's many options that they had. And this one is focused on business development and entrepreneurship. And we're so fortunate that for the last several years, we've been working with Blue Dot Education. So Adam, please tell us what you've been working on with the interns.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Adam Borick, and I'm with Blue Dot Education. And over the last 6 weeks, I've had the pleasure of working with this group of young people. We've spent time kind of understanding what it takes to have an entrepreneurial mindset, as well as looking at common practices and what it takes to build out a personal business, and then looking at what goes into some of my operations in my business life, as well as looking at a few different companies or influential people who have entrepreneurial spirit in society at large. And so tonight the interns are going to share a little bit about the ideas that they crafted and the business plans they came up with, as well as a few takeaways from the program. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first intern, Candice, and I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away and share. You can share screen and get started whenever you'd like.
Can you guys see everything?
Yep, we got you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Candice Hang, and I'm 17 years old, and I currently go to Warren High School, and I'm a senior. And my business is based on beauty. And what I would like to take away with this internship is being able to start my business and to be able for it to grow and everything. And one thing I learned from this business this internship is like planning a business isn't as easy as it seems. So my organization team is just currently me for now, but as a business owner, I will be able to plan, create, invest, and communicate properly with my customers, have good marketing skills and time management, and make decisions for my business. And my strengths as a person is to be able to be organized, responsible, my management skills, my communication skills, my leadership, persistence, and passion. And I feel like having passion is one important thing that you should have as a business owner. So this is my ideal logo design. If I ever do actually launch a business, I'm not too sure if I would want to go with this name, but as of right now, it would be Gloss Beauty, and this would be the color scheme pink and white. And then my branding, a representation of my products would be affordability and quality. With makeup could be really, really expensive, especially if you want good quality. But with me, I would be able to have many afford it, and for it to be really, really good quality. And my color scheme would be pink and white. So here's my executive summary. My executive summary, I will basically provide beauty products that are high quality, affordable, and I will create a satisfying feeling for our customers to be able to feel confident with our products. And I would typically serve pre-teenagers, teenagers, and adults. But how would I do all that? I'm gonna try to find a trusting manufacturer that has high quality ingredients to be able to reach what I advertise. And why I would want to be doing all this, I want to share my creativity through my beauty products, and I want everybody to be able to afford high quality makeup. And I want to be my own boss and own a business because I think it's really, really cool. And I just want everybody to feel confident in my beauty products. So my customer needs and wants would be high quality, having pigmented lip gloss, hydrating, non-sticky, affordable, and having good customer service. And for me to be able to reach all those needs, I would have to make sure the ingredients are high quality, make sure everything's high in pigment and high in oils that will be able to nourish your lips. And I would have to use the right amount of oils to be able to avoid having sticky lip gloss, and I won't be putting an unreasonable price on the product, and I will be there to satisfy my customer needs, and I will communicate and understand where they're coming from or what they have a problem with my product. So my marketing, my ideal customer would be teenagers mostly and young adults, and to be able to reach all of them, I would have to use Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is really popular right now, and so is Pinterest getting popular as of right now. So I would be able to use both of them to be able to target those customers, and also using Facebook and marketing ads. So my corporate responsibility would be to help the world possibly create more job opportunities, to heal dry and cracked lips, and to inspire others who would want to create a small business as well, and to be able to help people with their self-esteem with my products. Some of my competitors would be bigger brands that sell the same exact beauty products. I feel like the way they found their success is their knowledge of their marketing skills, which I don't really know of yet, but I really want to figure it all out. They know how the social media works and which doesn't, and that's something that I really need to learn. And why do I think I'll be able to find success? Like I said before, passion and being determined is really a key into having a business, because without that, I feel like there would be no point in going and continuing. But with determination and passion, I feel like it will help me find success within my business, which will lead me to success. And I will also invest in influencers and other ads to be able to market my business and promote it to a bigger audience. So this is my final projections, and I didn't go too in depth with the shipping, legalization, and the LLC because there's just certain different websites for you to use to be able to find those things. So I wasn't too sure about the pricing, but from what I did do the research of, the estimation of total amount will be $300 for the whole thing. Now, my wand tubes would be $6.70, and my squeeze tubes would be $1.34, and those are two different types of wands in which you will put the lip gloss in. And with the information I have right now, yes, as my sales will increase, I'm positive that it will cover all my expenses. And the difference between me and other competitors is that they charge a lot more than what I would charge. And then my other final projections, my total of the wand tube that I'll sell it for will be $12.50, and the squeeze tubes will be $5. And it depends on where the customer lives, so the pricing will vary, but I will make a total profit of the wand tube for $4.60 and the squeeze tubes for $3.66. This is my funding request. Because I don't know the pricing of the LLC and the shipping rates and the legalization, I would estimate it to be around $5,000. But that is what I have calculated right now for a certain amount of products being sold. But as my business does grow, I would possibly need more because of the inventory needed. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Candace. Really appreciate you leading us off. I love the presentation and the thoughtfulness you put into it. We're going to save feedback and comments and questions for the end. So we'll continue on. Up next, we have Stephen and Nick. So I'm going to share screen for you guys. All right, you guys can go ahead and get started whenever you'd like.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Steven Seck. I am from Downey High School. I am 17 and I'm about to be a senior. And this is my partner,
Yeah, I'm Nicholas Chang, and I'm also from Downey High School. And this is Project Savitas, our business pitch.
So my name is Steven Seck, of course, and I am the founder and co-designer of Project Savitas. Some of my strengths are leadership. I'm a great people person, and I'm pretty quick thinking and creative.
Yeah, I'm also a co-founder of this company. I mainly work with the investing and logistics side of it, but as far as my strengths, I'm also a proactive, self-aware, and good communicator. So Project Savitas are in our logo design, we try to represent a welcoming community, but at the same time having this simplistic appeal.
So what do? We are a nonprofit organization that primarily focuses on rehabilitation and reintegrating the less fortunate folks of society back into and give them a second chance. And how do we do it? We want to build a facility that acts as if it was a community and for people to feel included. And who do we serve? We serve the people, mainly people who are in financial need or people who don't have a home. And why do we do it? We just want to do it just to make people happier and to give people a chance that other people might not want to give a chance to.
Yeah, as far as our company, we're a nonprofit, which our goal was to kind of reintegrate people back into society that maybe had setbacks or any struggles in their past. We provide any like basic necessities, ranging from food all the way to like mental health, which is very important. And our business will meet the needs of our customer by providing a home-like feeling rather than a very formal and strict homeless shelter.
So who is our ideal customer? Our ideal customer is people who are in need of housing and people who are in need of financial aid, and other types of customers would be people in retail and wholesale. And how do we reach them? We work with other homeless shelters around the area to have them send people our way so we can help them. And we also work with other companies. So we are offered a commission each time we hire a homeless folk into their workforce. And how will this business help the world? This business is primarily and what we think is we want to make people happy. And so that's the full purpose of this business. We want to see people smile. We want to see people have a second chance at life, basically. And yeah.
Our industry analysis, we're going to be building our Belgium partnership, Los Angeles mission. And I wouldn't consider these necessarily competitors. They're folks we work with and kind of solve the problem ourselves with. What makes us different, though, is unlike ordinary homeless shelters, we provide a community and kind of a space where people can reintegrate back into society after any struggles or hardships. And we'll find success through mainly benefiting and helping out others as well. You know, we benefit from both sides, and we kind of use that to our advantage in creating this company. So as far as financial projections, most of it is a very rough estimate, but labor, building materials, and medical costs will be the most hefty prices, with 18 million, 55 million, and 19 million being So as far as funding, it's going to be a very hefty request, but we're requesting $120 million with a very negotiable interest rate to kind of start off our business for 1 year.
So to go back on what we said, the old saying went, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man a fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And this was said by an ancient philosopher called Lao Tzu. And this is basically the philosophy that we want to run by. We don't want just to like provide food and housing, but we also want to provide a stable job, a place where they can like get help for their mental needs and etc. So they can have the most successful future after being with Project Civitas. So our learning process, the internship was a once in a lifetime opportunity that I couldn't pass up. I've gained a sense of how a good schedule can make my life a lot easier, and how networking will be vital for my future endeavors, and how the connections we make right now can spell success. I'm grateful to Bio Group and Work Wonder, who was able to make this experience possible.
Yeah, I've also learned a lot in this internship, but the main takeaway I got was mainly kind of building a strong importance on communication, a steady workflow, and building a strong community in general, which is kind of what we try to implement in this particular company. So thank you, Work Wonder and Bay Group as well for this amazing opportunity. I'm forever grateful and cultivated.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen and Nick. And great job. And one of the things you'll notice as we go through these presentations is like the level of care about community and wanting to like have these businesses be kind of socially minded and actually do good in the world. That's a theme that developed with this group that I really enjoyed.
So, Adam, if I may interrupt. So we are so fortunate. John Harris from Downey Unified is here with us, and John has been collaborative partner for all the years that I've been working with Downey. So John, thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do.
Oh, you're welcome. And I have to say, honestly, this is one of our favorite times of the summer, isn't it? The student internship deep dive showcases. We're so proud of all of the work that our students have done in these internships and the things that they've learned about themselves, as well as the industry deep dive that they chose. And so we are so impressed with your work and your showcase presentations. I would be remiss if I didn't do a couple of thank yous here. First of all, Adam, thank you for shepherding this group and guiding them through the deep dive process here. And your mentorship and guidance is clearly evident in what students have been able to do in this internship. We are deeply grateful to our superintendent, Dr. John Garcia, as well as every member of our Board of Education that approves all of these activities. Anything connected with the Downey Unified School District is approved by the school education board, and we are deeply grateful to them. Also, the California Department of Education through the CTIG grant, as well as the California Community College Chancellor's Office, that through their strong workforce program, as well as the district provides quite a bit of funding in order to make this possible. I think June 6-7 years ago, we started out with about 30 students.
Yes.
And students in those internships were, making coffee, making copies, and all kinds of other things. And now, partly with the help of the pandemic, but we were able to pivot and then to provide these internships from a virtual space that have proven to be very, very valuable to our students, their resumes, and their developing habits of mind that will serve them when they leave high school and go into the workforce, on to college, all of the different opportunities in following their dreams. So congratulations in your participation in this. This is somewhat like finishing the finish line. I suppose you've all done just outstanding work, and we're so very proud of you.
Thank you, John. Awesome. All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that, and appreciate the kind words, but these guys make it easy. It's a pleasure. All right, up next we have Summer. So Summer, I'm gonna share a screen for you, and then you can go ahead and get started whenever you'd like.
Awesome, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your day to listen to our business ideas. I know this is the last one, so you've been here for a while. I'm Summer Lee, and this is my business plan on the culturally impactful breakfast bun, the Monday mornings. Next slide, please. A little bit about me. I am 16 years old and I'm going into junior year in the fall. I currently reside in Davis, California, but I am of Asian descent. My mom is from Hong Kong and my dad is from Taiwan. My favorite hobbies are baking and music. Next slide, please. So let me paint you, this is the presentation overview and the 3 things I will be covering today. Next slide, please. So let me paint you a picture. Imagine yourself when you were 5 or 6 years old. Snooze the alarm one too many times, look in the pantry, but cereal for the 3rd day in a row just isn't appetizing anymore. Dad is rushing to feed your younger sister and you're frantically trying to find your lunchbox. Mom is already dressed and headed off to work. Is there anybody there to help you? Next slide, please. So in America, the breakfast items available on the market are just too sweet, too oily, or too cold to make you feel good. But isn't it true that you just want something to eat that is warm and energizing in the morning? At Monday mornings, we make the most comforting breakfast buns that will keep you feeling your best right when you take your first bite. And with unique fillings from all over the world, these flavors will rotate monthly, making sure that you never feel like you're eating cereal for the 3rd day in a row again. Next slide, please. So these breakfast buns are one of a kind and have not shown on the market yet, but the special part is not only their unique fillings, but it's that they have this unique power of encouraging and inspiring growth in family relationships. As a 2nd-generation Asian American, I have trouble connecting with my grandparents since they speak Cantonese and I am not fluent in that language. And I can imagine how tough it can be if parents and kids can't communicate on the same level due to language barriers or even love language barriers. Growing up in America, we often find that verbal love language is huge, but in other parts of the world, it's shared through food. And my vision is that these buns would be able to bridge that gap by having little encouraging notes. Some of them will say goals like, today I will say something kind to someone, or conversation starters like, what's your favorite thing about the person in front of you? And these notes would be written in the filling's native language. For example, if it was Lebanese, it would be in both Arabic and in English. And just like fortune cookies, you get something different each time. My target audience is parents and young kids, but everyone can enjoy Monday mornings. Next slide, please. So this was the learning process and the 2 main takeaways I got from this internship. Next slide, please. So one thing I learned through this internship is figuring out the types of people needed to run and make a successful company. And when I expand, I hope to have 5 main teams to help. The first is the flavor research team. They look at the types of flavors in season and what is currently trending. And they work with the pastry chefs who will create techniques and different flavors together, who will also end up baking. The next is the data and analysis team. This team looks at the projected sale of the flavors and decide how much of them to make based on previous demand for similar flavors by consumers. The fourth is the finance team, who communicates with vendors and they also handle the money. And lastly is the marketing and aesthetics team, which will help make photos, upload photos, and design packaging. Next slide, please. The second thing I learned throughout this internship is that I have a strong calling towards connecting all human beings. I believe that we are all intertwined together, and through the building of relationships and food, we can really create a family relationship and a home where young kids and parents can feel like they found their place and lift each other up. Next slide, please. So overall, this was a really amazing learning experience for me. And if I decide to put this idea into action, I would most likely start by selling the buns at a local farmer's market. I've learned how to balance different schedules, stay positive, and do a lot of meaningful work through this internship. And I'll always know that I'll look back and smile because it's the first time I put into thought what I love to do. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So much. Thanks so much, Summer. Really appreciate it. I love the level of story you brought to it too. It makes it really engaging, and you can tell it's a passion project of yours, which I think is always the best way to go about these things. Cool. Up next, we have Toby. So Toby, you can go ahead and share screen and get started whenever you would like. And I think Toby might be in the Netherlands on a very different time zone for us. So a lot of commitment from these young people, which is cool.
Hello, I am Toby, and this is my business pitch, Revitalize. We focus on quality, integrity, and discipline. First, a personal introduction. Like I said, my name is Tobias Osterlo. I'm the founder and CEO of Revitalize. Some of my experience in the past, I have I picked up furniture refurbishing. I have sales experience from selling the furniture that I made. I first picked it up during COVID when I had nothing to do and I was bored at home. I wanted to make a quick buck. But it wasn't until this summer and when I started this internship that I thought of bigger ideas for this little side hustle, this easy way to get money, and I built on it. The facts. According to a government article, furniture waste, or F-waste, has accounted for at least 4.1 total MSW, municipal solid waste. That's, I mean, we're talking 25 million tons of used goods in the landfill. That's what it means, municipal solid waste. That's the stuff that gets sent to the dumps. Of that 4.1%, only 0.4% is actually recycled. So 80% goes to the landfill, maybe 20% around that is combusted, used for energy, or just burned to get rid of, make space. Our goal, we want to provide an ethical business that presents a win-win relationship for the environment, collaborators, and customers, and the business itself. So we're all helping each other. Now, the executive summary. Who will we serve? We'll serve the environmentally aware people, the aware population. We'll serve the environment. We'll serve the customers that want to make a difference. And we'll serve the people that want to avoid the guilt feeling of throwing away furniture. Like, I know from experience, when there's something I don't want in the house that's taking up space, I want to get rid of it, but landfill isn't really, it doesn't feel right to me. And that's why people donate to places like Goodwill, because they don't want to throw away those items. The executive summary. Well, how will we do it? First, we'll advertise to, get our name out there. Then we'll retrieve old furniture to use. And then we'll refurbish and reuse the material that we receive. And then we'll sell our product. Advertising. Our company would use applications and websites such as Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, maybe Shopify to sell some stuff. And we'd use these to attract customers, advertise, sell the product, the basics, maybe in ads, maybe influencers, maybe just, sticking it up there. Receiving and retrieving. Some options of gathering the material or furniture, we could, communicate with people who don't want their stuff, and we could pick it up from their houses. Like if you go on Craigslist and you look up free stuff, you'll normally find a bunch of used furniture that people don't want to keep and they leave it on the streets. We could accept furniture at a drop-off. Like in this picture, there's a spot you can just stick stuff in there. Maybe we do that on, using bigger containers, or maybe creating a temporary dump area where people can put their furniture. Like for example, when you see people moving, or like for example, in Davis, we live in a college town. So there's constantly these big metal dump containers just scattered around where people throw their stuff. Could use those. Refurbishing and reusing. Once you receive the furniture and you can tell it's in irreparable shape, the materials would be disassembled and sorted, into textiles, maybe wood pieces or whatever. And in the future, if I decide to build this company further, there may be other possibilities, like, grinding the material, making new stuff. If we receive furniture in moderate to bad condition, furniture that we can save, we can refurbish, we can refinish, we will refurbish it using recycled material from other furniture or places, things we find at the dump, and ecologically friendly paint that won't sink into the water basins, Selling products. Products would be sold at a fair price, and that accounts for the work we put in and how the furniture looks. And we'd sell using online platforms like previously, Shopify, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Now in the future, we could make a website that people could buy off of, or maybe even a store where people could walk in and browse furniture if they wanted and pick out stuff. Our competition. Our main competitors would most likely be big businesses like Walmart, IKEA, I know like maybe Lazy Boy, any big company that sells furniture would be our competition, or maybe smaller resellers that have the same idea as us, though there aren't many. How are we different from these companies? Well, we'd use ecologically friendly materials like varnish and paint. We would use recycled materials. We're not, cutting down trees or, harming the environment to make new product. And we would give life to old, worn furniture and reduce the amount of waste. So we're preventing additions of items to the dump. We're stopping things from getting there, and we're, refurbishing them. So instead of going to a landfill, they're in someone's house. The difference is we care more. We care more than these bigger companies. We care more about the environment than these bigger companies. That's the whole business model. We care more about the environment. Bigger companies, they'll use, chip wood, stuff that isn't easily refurbishable. They don't really care as much. Now, startup costs. Short term, if I were to start tomorrow, paint would probably cost around $200 a month. Electric equipment like sanders, stuff like that, maybe $400, $500. Sandpaper to put on the sanders and filters for the sanders, stuff like that, maybe $50 a month because, they're not reusable. Brushes, painting equipment, $150, just an estimate. Advertisement, maybe sponsoring our stuff on Instagram would cost money. Paying people to show our stuff to people would cost money. Miscellaneous, scattered items, maybe $100. Now the total estimate is $400 plus $550 a month. Now long term, it would be more. We'd probably rent a warehouse to store furniture, employees, maybe 3 employees, which would probably add up to $5,400 a month, 5-hour work days, miscellaneous, $3,000. Anyways, it add up to around $3,800 and $8,000 a month. What have I learned being a part of this internship experience? Well, I've learned a lot of free thinking skills. I've learned how to create a business pitch. I've learned how to put together a business plan. And I've learned what it takes to make a business. I've learned how to brainstorm. At the beginning, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but eventually I figured it out. And now I'm proud of what I made. I'm happy I was able to do this. I think it's a big accomplishment for me. And now that I do this, if I don't like this idea, I can use my skills and do something else. The possibilities are limitless. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thanks, Toby. And I appreciate, I love the idea and that it started as a hobby and you decided to build it out. In addition, that you named like a little bit about your process there where you kind of got stuck. You didn't know what to do, but you just kind of went for it. And honestly, that's part of the entrepreneurial spirit. There's a lot of unknowns going into this. So it's good to recognize that. I also know, I think it's like 2 or 3 in the morning your time. So if you want to get going, I totally understand. So thanks for carving out time in the middle of the night. Up next, we have Jessica. So Jessica, you can go ahead and share screen and get started whenever you'd like.
Okay, can you guys see it?
You loading now? Yep, we got you.
Okay, so my business is a baby and child care learning center. My name is Jessica Reese. I'm 17 years old and I am going into my senior year at Warren High School. There's many reasons on why I actually chose to do this business, but one of the main ones was my love and passion for kids. I always seem to interact with them and I enjoy being around them, as well as my creativity and the way I am, which is a positive and a caring person, as in helping others. What do? I babysit and educate children. I serve babies starting from 3 months up to toddlers. And how do I do this is I care for babies and toddlers, but not only that, I also teach them learning basics so that when the toddlers do go into school, they know the learning basics and don't just go in like blank and knowing nothing. Like I said, I do it for many reasons, but a main thing would have to be my passion and the way I like to help others. I will babysit babies and toddlers. During the time I am also caring for them, I will educate them as in learning ABCs, numbers, colors, foods, vocabulary, and for the babies who are learning how to walk, teach them how to walk. And toddlers who aren't potty trained yet, I would potty train and languages, etc. So many daycares are located like in schools or like they have them in their own homes, but I want to have like my own building behind my home because like I would want its own area, but not inside my home. So it could be more professional and have more space for things. What needs or wants do my customers have? So my customers would be parents. As any parent, a parent wants their kid to be in a safe and healthy environment, who they're around with, and for them not to be worried when they're working or whatever they're doing in which their child can be in. How I will meet that is that as a professional business owner, I will try my best to provide every need that the parent would have, make sure my business is safe, clean, and have responsible coworkers, and for the parents to trust me with their child. Who is on my team? Obviously myself, I would have 3 other professional coworkers that would help me with the children. A professional cook for food and meals, and a maintenance person to sanitize. What role do we each play? Well, I obviously run it, so I would do more like payments, kids, having to deal with parents and stuff. And my other coworkers, I would want them to help me more with the kids, since I do want it to be a 24-hour service. So I wouldn't be able to do it with myself, especially if I'm gonna have more than one kid. The cook will obviously make the meals, and when the parents are signing up their child, I would tell them what they can't eat, what they're allergic to, so the cook can make the right meals for each child. And of course, I made in-persons for sanitizing and cleaning. What are each of our strengths? So I want people who have a passion and responsibility and love for what they do. I plan on using social media platforms, letting people know that I know our parents, telling friends and family to spread the word, and sponsor myself by making cards and handing them out. Competitors. So around the world, there's many daycares everywhere. Like I said, school, gyms, at home. What makes me different is that, one, I will also, have a learning center, so to educate them. And it would be high quality for around less price than what usually high quality daycares charge. What makes me think I'll find success is my responsibility and my passion. You can't do something without any passion, because if not, you won't successfully work. It won't successfully work. Finances. So I did have to do some research on this because I'm not good at this, but for startups, it would be around 40,000, and slowly through the process, it would add up, but it's all on starting. And I did it as well for the cost of services. I did do some research as childcares around me, and they charge high on price for the quality I would have, but I would charge around 500 a month. But I want my business, like, not only for parents, there's parents who may not be able to pay that much amount. So I want to be able to accept anyone. So there will be like qualification applications for those who can't afford to pay. And so I can help them with payments, and I can give them my service. Competitors cost, like I said, they charge around $750 or higher. Funding request, I believe in a year, I will need around 50,000 and 60,000 to continue my business, and it can successfully work. What I learned, I definitely learned on that creating a business is hard, but you can enjoy it if you really like it. I learned other people's business ideas, communication skills, interacting and working like as a team with others, and having a passion for a business. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate you sharing. I got my first child on the way in September, so I might have a future client on your hands after working with you. I trust you. Up next, we've got Cody. So Cody, I think I'm sharing screen for you. And then once I pull it up, you can go ahead and get started. Cool. All right, go ahead, Cody.
Right, sick. Hello, everybody. My name is Cody LeBeau, and this is my event photography business plan. So a little bit about me. I am a rising junior at DHS in Yola County. I was born in the Netherlands, and I moved to the US when I was 2, and I moved to Davis. So I've been living here ever since. And some hobbies, I enjoy outdoors, sports, and just hanging out with friends. And so a little bit of inspiration for why I chose event photography. So over COVID, I had started to gain an interest in photography. And so basically I had a camera lying around because my dad bought one, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something. And it was just in our house. And so I started to go outside and just pretty much take pictures of everything. And I watched lots of videos, learning about ISO aperture, like all standard camera stuff. And then I started to take things a little more serious, and I reached out more, and I started to take pictures for my school's orchestra. I took pictures for a birthday party. And so pretty much this whole thing is just to expand on my photography and what I can do. So my executive summary, basically my company will provide a service for events in which people have the opportunity to invest and have us come out and take pictures. The goal of these pictures are to capture those like special moments at these events. We serve people interested in having photographers come out to their events, and whether that could be the client themselves or the people attending the event, or just both. we do it using high-end tech such as drones, various lenses, and we do that to achieve stunning photographs that can capture and show the emotion of any event and leading into why we do it. And basically our overall goal is to just capture the beautiful moments and events and provide them to our customers to have those moments last even longer. So this is my logo. Company name is Photography Flicks. I don't know if I'm going to keep that name, but if I do expand on this further, yeah, Cody's Event Photography. I wanted it to kind of feel inviting and like aesthetic, and so yeah, and the logo is a camera lens. Here's a little bit of my work. For the next couple slides, I'll have an image somewhere on the slide that is also my work. Yeah, I guess give a second to it. I don't know. Okay, financial projections. So I always learned that you want to spend more money on a camera lens than a camera body. And so you'll see that throughout the financial projections, but pretty much camera body or camera parts would probably equal a lot. That's the majority of my business, but camera body would be around 2,000, drone 600, and then all the like accessories for cameras would probably be roughly like 300 or something. And then lenses would be 8,000. That's a lot because although like lenses are very expensive and it's very clear. And some other smaller things are like website fees to keep my website, like maintain my website. Also Photoshop subscriptions, that was more expensive than I thought it would be. And money for damages as well, just in case something happens to the cameras. Marketing. My ideal customers would be people that want professional pictures taken at their events. These events can range from anything like from parties, performances, etc. And the age range will more than likely be like young adults to adults, like older people. And I plan on reaching out to my consumer through my website. So I'll create my own domain name. I'll do the actual designing for the website, and then I'll advertise it probably through my local enterprise if that's possible. And then I aspire to reach out to customers who are interested in my work. And then maybe as I do an event for a family friend or something, maybe I'll start to post those pictures on there and then build from there. And maybe people will be more interested in that. What have I learned? I've learned a lot from this internship. Couple things that was really cool, how the formation of the Blue Dot Education logo was formed. I now know how to draw proper logos and that are like effective in drawing consumers in, and then also different types of businesses, because I didn't know that before or prior to this internship. And then also marketing strategies and being effective. So what's next? Ideally, start my own website, pay the fee, and then find my own domain name, probably just whatever my business name.com. And then, like I said earlier, work with a family friend, take pictures, and then publish that work on my website so that people can see like what I do, and then spread the word, and then just enjoy what I'm doing while I'm doing it, because I think that's very important. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate you sharing. Yeah, photography and optics, something weirdly enough that I am heavily involved in that I would have never thought I would have gotten into. Blue Dot has probably acquired close to $100,000 in optics since we started in 2015. So, and June, I know we have another guest joining us that you'd like to introduce.
I would. Thank you so much. And it's timely because we just had two interns from Davis present. So Gary's here from Davis. Hi, Gary.
Hi, everyone. Gary Pearson. I'm the Career Technical Education Grant Specialist for Davis Joint Unified School District. So it's great to see all the interns over the previous 3 days. It's been a marathon, I'm sure, for the BEA team. I'm here as a support for all of the interns, in particular, all the Davis interns. And I still am part of Davis Joint Unified School District. We'll continue on into this current academic year. And I encourage all of the participants to continue on in the journey. I've heard lots of really cool things over the past few days. So continue on.
Thanks, Gary.
Awesome. Up next, we're going to have Kalise. And Kalise, I'll share screen for you, and then you can go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second. All right, Kalise, whenever you're ready.
Could I just speak while it loads up?
Sorry, I didn't realize it was in full screen. There you go, Kalise. You're all set. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys. My name is Kalise Batson. I'm 17 years old. I go to Downey High School. I'm currently a senior as of right now. And my business is hair, which is beauty products. And a couple of things I've learned about being in this internship is that you have to really be confident in your work and you can't just slack on certain things. Also, just being on top of everything and just like having your skills be marked out. So yeah, my strengths as the CEO, because this is actually my business that I actually have as of right now. I'm very loyal to my customers. I don't discriminate nobody how they look or how they might be to certain people, because I just feel like everybody goes through things and you can't judge somebody off of their appearance. Next slide, please. I actually have a question. Adam, I can't really see it, like it glitches back and forth.
Oh no, let me turn my camera off and see if my Wi-Fi, if that helps at all.
Okay.
Can you see this slide on here now?
No, I can't.
See it, Adam. So Kelly's, are you on your phone?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, because we see
Okay,
it.
Kalise, if it glitches out, it might be your Wi-Fi. So just if it happens again, go ahead and turn your camera off while you're sharing, and that might help.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so my service is basically hair products. Basically, I will be doing the person's hair, and what I would want my customers to feel is confident in themselves and not worrying about how others may think of them by judging them because of a certain hairstyle that they got, which other people might not agree with. I would afford very cheap styles, not too much, because now stylists that I do know in person, they will charge you up to $400 just for you to do their hair, which is outrageous, I think. And my logo colors are pink, white, and black. Next slide, please. So I would provide my clients with high quality hair. Either they could buy the hair themselves or I would buy the hair and they'll just pay me afterwards for whichever hair I pick for them that works best. My company description, I am the only person that is actually doing this besides my sisters helping me, but they don't do hair, so they'll just help me take pictures. And a couple of the slides that you're gonna see, I added in some of the clients that I work with as of right now, just to show you guys my looks and my hairstyles. As I grow my company, I do want this to get out more to people, and I would want the publicity to know my states, like my socials and all that, so I can grow my fan base more. Next slide, please. My marketing is to mainly teenagers and young adults, and also older people as well. I don't do kids because I just feel like that's just very hard for me to have patience with. And I just feel like my anxiety could not handle that. Next slide, please. So these are the styles. Okay, next slide, please, because they are kind of loud. But those are the styles that I have done just as of this year. My hair page is also on here, so if you do want to check it out, it will be on here. Next slide, please. So what I realized while doing hair over these 2 years is that the people that you know and your connections take like a really big hold on you, because you want other people to know who you are, what do you do, and people could also model your brand. So for young Black girls just like me, I do realize that the more people you know, your social media will grow and grow, and people will also shout you out. I'll gain the public eye, meaning that I will be very determined in my work, and I would be more confident in actually getting the word out there. Next slide, please. So my financial, it depends on how many clients I get within that year. So I don't really know like how this would actually work, because it depends on what I charge that client or what they might have in mind. So it just depends really on what style they want and how their service will be provided to them. And within 1 year, it does depend on how many people I have to do their hair, and meaning that, so one person could pay me like 200. So I would just save that money until the next person comes. And then it really just depends like how many people come to me for me to do their hair. So at the end of the year, I would save about $5,000, because products are very expensive since things are rising. And half of the money does come out of my pocket. So I would have to pay for their things in order for me to do their hair. And then they'll just pay me back, vice versa. Next slide, please. So these are my socials. How I would get my clients' Facebook, I feel like most adults have that. So people just shout me out on there. And then that's really where my hair stuff is, because a lot of people can share my page and just get the word out. And TikTok is very popular. So I do post a lot of my videos on there of my clients, and just people know who I am, and also Instagram too. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to me.
Thanks so much for sharing, Kalise. I love that it's a project that you've been working on, and you were able to build it out a little bit more over the last 6 weeks. I also just love like the thoughtfulness of building community through the work you're doing with the people that you do the work. I think that's like a really cool aspect of it that was something I think I overlooked. And so through all these share outs, I'm learning like a little something from all y'all. It's been fun. Up next we have, oh yeah, and go ahead and give Kalise a follow on there so she can get the word out. Up next we have Fatima, and I think I'm sharing screen for you. Let me get that ready. Oh, there we are. All right, Fatima, you can go ahead and get started whenever you'd like.
Okay, I'm going to be presenting Fatima's lashes. Next slide, please. Okay, my name is Fatima. I'm an incoming senior at Downey High. The role I play is the owner. I buy, ship, and make my own lashes. My strengths being a very motivated person, good at completing tasks, managing my time, and keeping myself organized. Next slide. Branding. My product is represented as affordable and cute, something that makes both women and men feel confident. The color scheme of my brand is black and neon purple. Next slide. What I do is create and buy lashes for any gender. I do it by selling my products online. I serve teenagers and adults. I do it because I want both women and men to feel confident and have a variety of options when it comes to lashes. My company sells and creates lashes for any gender. I provide glue-on lashes. Needs or wants my customers have are dramatic or simple lashes, the need for a certain style. My business will meet their needs because I will provide different styles, some more dramatic and others being more natural. My ideal customer is someone who loves makeup and trying new looks. I plan to target my customers by looking for influencers that do makeup and have them try my product. My business will help the world by including styles for everyone and making everyone feel included. My competitors would be others who own a lash business and sell the same product I do. What could make them successful is their lash style. I think will make other lash businesses successful is having their own unique style of lashes. Financial projections. It would cost $12 to create each unit of my product. With $12, I can actually buy plenty of lashes. Overall, other competitors sell them for about $8.99 to $10.99. I would start off by selling them for $8.99 and up the price over time. I would profit $8.74 for 1 unit of my product. My cost. All my costs would start off small. I wouldn't want to spend much and have a lot of leftover inventory. I could start off with $400. Per year running my business, I would need about $700 to $900 because I would need more product, advertisement, better product. However, the main product I would spend money on is more lashes. What I learned from the internship was to better my communication skills, my creativity skills, how to make my own business plan and actually make it happen. I learned to work with new people, how to be an entrepreneur and think like an entrepreneur, and I learned better marketing skills. And that is all. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Fatima. I really appreciate you sharing. And like the idea of, entrepreneurial as in business, sometimes we just think like the end goal is to make income, which, financial independence is awesome. But I love the lens of like, you want to help make people feel beautiful through your service. I think that's just lovely. And I like that spin on it and that approach to it. All right. Up next, we've got Margot and Terry. And I'll pull up your slides here. Oh, you guys got it. Cool.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Margot, and Terry and I are made the business Envy, and that's our logo. It's a leaf and a. This is our table of contents. Start introduction. We strive to create an in-store experience and an online website where people from all walks of life can meet, buy, sell, and donate and chat about their interest in used clothing. Above else, it gives people a space to be enthused about trendy clothing in a way that won't destroy the environment unlike other fast fashion industries. So the vision of Envy. So from a customer, imagine you're either a high school student or a college student. You can go by our store between classes or on just to hang out with friends, and it's cheap, so you can probably do it pretty often. And from an employee, you don't have to just opt to get money from a fast food restaurant. You can have a chance to be an employee at a store. You can learn to market, you can do other things, as I'll explain further in the rest of the presentation. Okay. So as I said before, I'm Margot. I'm a rising senior in this Davis Senior High School, and my roles are the ideas, networking, and managing the online aspects. And my strengths are creative, committed, and being optimistic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Terry Kim, and I'm a rising senior at Downey High School. I play the roles of managing both the funds and the budget, marketing the products, and also managing more of the in-store and aspect in the clothing stock. So my strengths are just being realistic and appealing to logistics, being understanding, and also being curious. So for our executive summary, the first question was, what do we do? So simply, we provide a service reselling clothes that have once been worn, recycling and reusing them. And then the next question is, how will we do it? And so the clothing pieces that we find will either be sold in store or to our online website. Who will we serve? So our business, we primarily serve teens and young adults who are more into trendy fashion trends and clothing, and those are also environmentally conscious. And why do we do it? The most important question. So our purpose of this business is to provide a reliable, convenient, and well-known service for the average shopper, while also emphasizing giving opportunities to teenagers and young adults, and also being environmentally conscious.
So for our marketing, we plan to do it through social media by using influencers, and we plan to use billboards, and our target demographic, as said on the last slide, is teens and young adults. So as you'll know, thrifting is not a new thing. So there's a lot of traditional in-store thrift stores, like if you're located in Davis, you'll know Boheme. And there's also online ones, which is like Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, Etsy, eBay, Depop, and so on. They're really successful because they're cheap, they're well-known, reliable, and they're all on big platforms. So they've been around for a long time. They have built up a big base. They've networked. They have a lot of support. Okay, next slide. So how are we different? So we try to keep the new fashion things at the front and in very organized styles. And we also try to focus on sustainability, as it's become a big trend recently, and we want to build off of that. And we want to expand on that exponentially. So for opportunities, this is a big one. We're giving teens and young adults an opportunity to dive deeper in their interests, kind of like this internship. It's been really helpful towards me and my coworker. We both really enjoy this, and we want to build off of that too. So by being located on campuses, we've noticed a lot of people, if they want to get into maybe like marketing or interior design, you have to have like a degree, and you have to go through college first. So we want to give maybe high school students and college students a chance to try to do something that maybe they might not be qualified in other areas. This benefits us because we get people to work for us who want to like try something new, and we have a larger demographic of people who want to buy. How this benefits others, it provides jobs, opportunities, and it gives a good place to buy cheap clothes that's convenient. So for our online extension, you can have a chat, kind of like Pinterest, but it's exclusively towards clothes. You can tag your friends in your coolest new style. You can find other smaller designers, maybe that they don't have a large opportunity to spread out and branch out and target market their clothes. And we want to help different charities. So we want to have a dedicated page with all the charities listed and their missions. So perhaps there's a charity that specializes in women's clothes, children's clothes, baby clothes, men's clothes. We can find those charities.
All right. And so for our funding, just to start off, these are just rough estimates. However, so in store, our thoughts for costs included the buildings and utilities, which averaged to around a range from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And we would also like employees to manage our in-store. And we just start off with the minimum wage pay, which is $15 in Los Angeles County. and just also provide levels for them to grow and receive promotions. And just to start up, we would like to get an average of like $5,000 or more just to spend on our base clothes. And for our online aspect, we would pay a site designer up to $6,000 to design our site. And moderators would also be paid minimum wage with opportunities to receive more money. And the in-store employees would also help manage our stock and the shipping out to those who purchase online. And then the marketing costs, we would like to use billboards with an average of $1,000 to $5,000 a month in California, which range to $12,000 to $60,000 a year. We'd also like to advertise on taxis, which would cost $200 to $500 a month, which average to $2,400 to $6,000 a year. And we just brought a rough estimate onto social media, which is like $50,000, which we would put out onto Instagram, onto Facebook, or just to be sponsored. And we'd also pay influencers to advertise for us, and we average that to $10,000. So our total funding request with the very rough estimate would be $100,000 with just like the income that we receive going back into our business, which we would purchase more product and eventually hopefully pay off this request. And what we learned is that from this internship, there's a lot of commitment, and what goes into that is also cost and sacrifice. So eventually, especially since it's our own business, that means that we would want to put in our own money, and it takes a lot of time. So we're sacrificing a lot of time from either other jobs or just your family. And also we learned that there must be a great demand for your product if you're trying to sell something or provide a service. And to create a business and for it to be successful, it has to be unique and something that's different from other businesses in order to thrive. And this is our social media page. These aren't actual emails or websites, but this is just we were thinking of being located on Cal State University of Long Beach campus. And this is pretty much it for our presentation. So thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Margot. Again, like the thoughtfulness of having more sustainable or long-standing clothing with all the fast fashion out there. I think that's really important. And also the idea of like hiring your peers and providing job opportunities for young people. Pretty cool approach to take and try to provide value to your community. All right, up next we have Brahim. So Brahim, I think you're going to share, so you can go ahead and share and get started whenever you'd like.
Can you guys see it all right?
Yep, we got you.
All right. So hi, my name is Brahim Kunza. I'm an incoming junior at Da Vinci High School in Davis, and this is my presentation for Bees Home Service. This is my current logo. I'm still gonna plan to add to it because there's a lot in my whole services, and this doesn't really do it justice. So that's just the starting. So the summary, what we do hauling, junk removal, moving, demolition, yard work, but there's a list of other services. We do like I've done car detailing, pressure washing. I mean, there's really a list. We just do home services. What we physically can do, we'll end up doing. So how we'll do it, I should also add, I'm right now doing all of this by myself and then some of my friends to help as employees when I need it for bigger jobs. But this business plan is for 2 years in advance when I have more funding, older, and just overall more. So what we'll do, we plan to have a call center to handle all the scheduling, 2 to 3 trucks with trailers and skilled drivers. We're gonna have, it's gonna be based on the labor and size of the load for the charge. We're gonna have 3 to 4 employees, and we're gonna be fully insured and a part-time bookkeeper. So who do we serve? We serve Yolo, Solano, and Sacramento counties. We mostly target property managers, real estate agents, individuals needing services. So people with lots of weeds in their yards, for example, people with junk, people needing those services. Also, a big target is elderly. Currently, a lot of our clientele is elderly based. They aren't able to do it, and they really like the aspect of helping a high school, like they're helping high schoolers by providing us with service. So we kind of go hand in hand with elderly. We've also reached out to the local like community center to get more clients. So why we do it to have some fairly priced services from a local person they know and trust. I've played sports all my life and I know a lot of people in the community. And so it's nice having someone that they know and trust that they can pay to provide the services. We also provide jobs to teens and students. I've employed a lot of my friends already and football friends to help with these moving jobs. And it helps because it's more than minimum wage. We're usually paying $20 to $25 per job. So that's a lot more than minimum wage. So the company description, we're local students and teens providing home services like yard work, hauling, moving, and maintenance. So this is the organizational chart. So I'm at the top, the founder, Brahim Gunta, CEO, the owner. And as of right now, I'm doing everything from doing the market research, targeting and segmentation to all of our customers to get our ideal profile of who we want to serve. I'm doing all of the marketing, as in putting out on Facebook and everything. But for the future organizational team, I plan to have 3 employees and all of them are majoring in one thing. So one employee they're also going to be hopefully the managers when we get more employees, but each employee would have a designated service. So one would be for junk removal, one would be for moving, and one would be for yard work. And we'd kind of even it out. So I would go with that one employee that's needed for the service and we would grow off that. And once I try to slowly move out of the process and just be the person organizing all the stuff, they're going to be the people that teach all the new employees. And then we're also going to have a call center for all the scheduling and then a part-time bookkeeper. So positions, owner, I oversee all the work completed. I do hiring, training, retention of employees, manage the fleet services, marketing, overall complete oversight of the company. Employees complete work as assigned, basically. They must have a driver's license and the job training will be provided. So there's nothing really to worry about. The bookkeeper has to have knowledge of QuickBooks and ability to manage the financial side of things. Call center, we're going to hire someone from Rocket Station who's already been trained, or really hire someone overseas who could handle this stuff so we could pay them a lot less, and that just adds over how much money we get. So ideal customers, to go more in depth on them, they're going to be real estate flippers looking for demolition and removal of items. Also, a lot of times we could benefit off of selling said items, since they just want a clean out most of the times. They don't really care what's inside. Property managers needing help with an apartment or home clean outs, especially because I live in Davis, a huge student town. There's a lot of move outs, especially we're getting into the season of move outs. So I've contacted a lot of property managers and apartment complexes to try to get more jobs. Individuals without access to tools or vehicles, this goes a lot more for the junk removal things and yard work. A lot of people just don't have the tools and they would rather hire someone who has the tools than to go buy them themselves. That said, again, those that would rather hire someone than do the work themselves really used to be me and most people. I feel like nobody wants to go grab a whole bunch of junk and throw it to the junk. It takes an hour and a half. No one wants to go do this hard yard work, and no one wants to do that. So that's why we do it for them. And especially elderly, like I said, again, they're more on the able-bodied side. They may not be able to do it. And especially if they're older, they might have the capital and the money to do it. So it works out. Marketing. So as of right now, we only do Nextdoor, Facebook, and a couple other local and flyer distributions. But my hope for the marketing, once we have more employees and more time to do everything, is to have Facebook Marketplace, Google, Yelp reviews, Nextdoor, flyer distribution, direct mail and direct email to local. That's what we're already doing. We're emailing a lot of local property management places and stuff like that. Customer posts and reviews. That's also a lot of how we're getting our people right now, is word to word. When they hear of high schoolers that arrive on time and do a good service, they really like to benefit and get in that. So we're also on the job, like marketing through signs, so on the trucks and stuff. And we're really focused on being young professionals and then providing back to the community. So this is just some of like the older posts. This is like the first flyer that I gave to everyone. I mean, I mass printed these. I probably gave it to you on accident if you lived in Davis. I put it everywhere. So like this person's moving to Oregon, we clear out their whole garage. We have 4 football guys come in. They're conditioned and strong enough to move it. We have a plan on where we're gonna put it, and then we do it fast and efficiently. That's just some more of the work. We've took down, we had some demolition and then put it in the truck, and then just a little bit of yard work. Just some of the services that we've done. So our competitors, we have more hauling, blues junk removal, cow junk, Duenas gardening. I mean, there's a lot of services that do these things. I see them every day when I do junk runs. And they're all well known and reliable. They've been around for a minute. That's what kind of makes them who they are. When people search up on Google for junk removal, this is usually what comes up. So how are we different? We're local with connections to the community. We know people, people know us. We're cheaper with better value. So because we're still efficient and we're underpriced from the market, they get more value for what they're paying for. That's just how it is. A wider range of services, one call, we do it all. Like I said, if we could physically do this, we'll most likely do it. We're reliable and can most likely book us last minute. We've had jobs early as 4:30 a.m. to as late as 9 p.m. We don't really have a schedule, and that's what I think what's awesome. We're as flexible as you need us. How we help, we fill a local need focused on those that cannot perform the services for themselves. And we focus on providing local students and teens with new skills and opportunity to learn or to earn money when it's often difficult to earn money right now. So financials, hourly fees, it's going to be based on the job, but most likely $30 to $35 an hour, 15% goes to insurance. Junk removal is 130 to 240 per load. Most competitors are charging 150 for a small load and 350 for a big load. So that's a big difference. And you can see they're getting more than $100 off on a big load, which is a big reason. Cost of payroll, it's we'll target as 60% of revenue. The maintenance will be 20% of revenue. The insurance will be 10% of revenue, and then 5% goes into savings, 5% goes into company growth and emergent needs. That is like if another pandemic happens, something happened, we need emergency funds, that's where it is. Learned and look forward to during this internship, I learned just how competitive business is and how hard it can be to actually formulate a good plan that works out successfully. And I hope after this internship, I get more opportunities for me and my business knowledge to grow. Thank you.
Thanks, Brahim. Appreciate it. Well done. And you know, out there hustling in your community, I really enjoy that, and like that pretty obvious entrepreneurial mindset coming from you. And what you guys will notice is that there's a wide array of levels and ideas going on here. The design of the program was that we met the interns where they're at. So if they had an idea that they were currently working on, either as a hobby or as an actual business, like for him, they could try to build that out over the 6 weeks. Or if they weren't quite there yet, they could develop something a little more forward thinking, a future plan. Because it was really about the process of writing these plans and how to think like an entrepreneur that we honed in on. So up next we have Theo. So Theo, I think I'm going to share a screen for you, and then you can go ahead and get started whenever you'd like.
All right. So this is my reselling business. Next slide, please. These are my table of contents, intro, the idea itself, things that were learned, and the things I could apply in the future. Next slide, please. So my business idea is called Sozo. Next slide. A little introduction. I am Theodore Kim, founder and CEO of Sozo. My strengths would be my leadership abilities, the fact that I can work with other people very well, and also my passion for this business. About me, I am of Asian descent. Both my parents immigrated from Korea in 2003. I am 17 years old and I will be a rising senior at Warren High School. This section will be about the business itself. Next slide. So about Sozo, on paper, it's a business that resells clothes, especially to teenagers. A very critical aspect, I think, is the fact that it's to teenagers rather than for everybody. I think it provides teenagers with a very reliable but a cheaper alternative than anything else. We would use social media, which is flooded with teenagers, and use that to market our choice audience. Next slide. So what exactly sets us apart? So in my business, instead of creating new clothes, we would thrift clothes instead of, ruining the environment more by adding more and more clothes. It'd be reselling already made clothes. The price also is a very key distinction. Many popular stores, malls, other resellers, they heavily charge for their pieces and different stuff around 20 and some even more than that. However, my products would always be priced at around $10, which is very key because of the fact that the target audience is younger people who don't have set careers or jobs. They may be working barely minimum wage jobs. So this price is very different from other stores. Also the convenience, instead of having to, with the rise of Amazon and online stores, this is just also one of them. Instead of having to go to brick stores and searching through, trying to find something that one would like, it allows everything to be bought online. The next slide. Okay, so this is my price comparison with Spencer's and Zumiez, which are also very popular teen clothing stores that you can find in many malls. I found the averages on their websites, and I would charge around for 10, while Spencer's and Zumiez are around 25 and 30. It shows just how different that my business would be compared to those of other already established popular malls. Next slide. This is something I researched, and I realized that 17 million tons of generated textiles were created in 2018 alone. Shows how many plants and animals are used constantly to create this kind of need for clothes. And it highlights a key aspect of my business, which is reselling already made clothes. So instead of creating more and putting a heavier impact on nature, we are recycling in a way. So that's a very key distinction for my business. Next slide. So my strategy, as I mentioned before, the goal is to resell thrifted items at an affordable price. So the first key action that would need to take place is me, and in the future, probably my employees, would go to local thrift stores and buy items that we deemed, I guess, able to be resold, or very things that can sell very easily, right? Key factor is the local thrift stores saves money on gas and allows items to be found very frequently. And then number two, in the future, when if I gather more employees, it's very important to have a website and social media to be able to market and show our products to the world. And this also helps convenience, allowing our products to not having to be put in a brick and mortar store, rather online, and you can scroll and find something that you would like. Next slide. So the things that were learned is the next section. The next slide. I think this internship taught me a lot about the complexity and the very key aspects in businesses. One such thing is the fact that not everyone is stellar at certain things that you might be stellar at. I think it's important to succeed is not only treating everyone as treating everyone with the idea that everyone works the same as you do. Certain people work this, and certain people are better at this. And I think that's super important to succeed. If you play everyone to their strengths, you can accomplish so much more than if you had a very closed mindset. I think that was a very important thing that I learned. Also, businesses are complex. As I kind of mentioned, there's so many pieces. You got to fit them all correctly. And then that's why it's so important, again, to play people to their strengths, because so much going on and there's so many different things that need to be accomplished. So I think it's super important to have different people doing what they do best. Also, the importance of perseverance. You know, not many people's first business is what they end up going with. We see in history that people keep going from garages to keep going, changing ideas. I think it's super important to succeed, not only in business, but in all aspects of life. Next slide. Yeah, this is the how it applies to my future and what I hope to learn. Next slide. In the future, I hope to continue this mindset that I mentioned before about understanding what's around you, the people, and to keep working hard and to stay on top of things. As I will be finishing up high school and as I move to bigger things, I hope that this mindset, I realize that this mindset is very critical for me. And I hope that I can keep this in the back of my head always, and it helps me to drive me into whatever career I decide to take. Next slide. Thank you all so much for watching my presentation.
Awesome. Thanks, Theo. Appreciate that. I appreciated like that figure you put up about the use of textiles and things like that. Took me back to when I saw, I played basketball growing up, and I saw how some of the sneakers were made when I was like 17 years old, and it changed the way I approached clothing and things like that. So it's cool to hear that moment. And I liked what you shared about the importance of diversity when building a team, having different perspectives, because that's what leads to success. You don't want a bunch of the same thinking people in the room, or else you're going to end up with pretty stale ideas. So I think it's cool that you name those two things. All right. Up next, we have Gio, Ish, and Ease sharing. And I think you guys are sharing screens, so you guys can pull that up and go ahead and begin.
Good afternoon. My name is Gio Aguirre, and I am a senior here at Downey High School.
Hello, I'm Ezekiel Leyva. I'm also a senior at Downey High School, and I'm joining you guys from Mexico.
Hi, my name is Ismail Zuniga, and I'm also a senior at Downey High School.
And this is our brand Ironclad FPV, shot from above. Next slide. So again, my name is Gio Aguirre. I am the co-founder / CEO. I have experience with business from my father, and I am great at making plans, and I find that to be my skill set.
And once again, I'm Ezekiel Leyva. I'm also the co-founder and the CEO. And also, like Joe, I help my father with his business. With this company, I focus more on the management and organization side of it.
Hi, my name is Ismail Zuniga, and I'm also the co-founder and CEO of the company. I dwell mostly in the management, in the marketing of the company, and I have great communication skills and also have experience in the field of drones.
We provide aerial cinematic filming with drones. So we do it by filming our events with our cinematic drones that are flown by our professional pilots with FAA licenses. We serve people who want a wider perspective of any event or any other personal uses. We do it because we see it as the future of filming, and it offers a variety of better use in standard conventional filming, such as cameras or other things such as that. We hope to promote wide ranges of different projects, from filming with drones, whether it be for events or celebrations or any other personal use. Being able to film events like these offer new perspectives that conventional filming techniques could not.
Now let's look at the industrial analysis. So if one wanted aerial shots, they would either contact Drone Up or CS3 Photography. But apart from that, it's mostly independent businesses. What separates us from the competition is that we love drone flying, and we also offer a variety of options when it comes to our type of shots. So this business, it's unheard of, and not many people have it. So that's why once people catch on and see how good our pictures at, our business can expand.
Financial projections. There are many different costs for starting up a drone company, and the biggest being the drones themselves. And in total, it will cost about $2,000 to be able to have a full cinematic drone. And to fly these drones, we will need to hire FAA licensed pilots, drone spotters, and drone technicians.
So to be able to purchase a DJI filming drone, could cost anywhere between $300 to or $1,500 to $2,500, and for the drone itself would be $300 to $2,000 by itself. Other costs would include travel costs to filming sites, as well as spare parts, and also licensing costs. Competitors can charge between $500 to $5,000 for a shoot themselves. And for our drones, along with other expenses, an estimate would be around 15 grand to get our business rolling. Next slide, please.
Our starting rate for a drone filming session will start at $175 per hour, but the price can change depending on different factors, which include the location of the shoot and the size of the area that needs to be shot. And we feel this cost is reasonable because unlike our competitors who can charge up to $5,000 per hour, our drones are custom built and don't require any extra charges that our competition might add.
So we brought out a couple of our pilots and a couple of our drones to our school's rival football game, and here's how it came out.
All right. So in terms of you want to say something?
Yeah, so as you can see, these aerial shots provide a different perspective other than conventional filming and allow people to get a new perspective on what they're watching.
All right. So in terms of promotion strategy, ways of getting our brand out to the public include strategies such as posting videos of our service onto social media to gain traction in the local community, reaching out to companies that require our cinematic services, and as time permits, create advertisements for services on YouTube, TikTok, and etc. As in this current day, it's more it is greater to reach out to others through social media than it is through any other marketing strategy. We plan to promote our customers by posting or showing the film that drones are able to capture and the versatility of these projects and how drones can be used in any aspect of filming. Moving on to our ideal customer. Our ideal customer is the person who is looking to expand on the way that they want something filmed and the person that wants a better filmed product.
So what we learned throughout this whole experience? Well, what we learned was that in the beginning stages of our company, there were a lot of challenges that stagnated us from getting off the ground. We also learned that having a plan is essential and helps you build up your company. Everything in business is a sale, and you have to learn how to sell your product. We also learned how to organize ourselves based on our strength. Now, what we plan to do in the future, we already have 5 of our pilots full of gear, and I currently have more gear on the way. And we are still doing events. One of our pilots recently did a job out in Baja California by the beaches. So we're constantly expanding. We're also expanding on our social media side. I'm starting up on our website. And from there, we just plan on doing more and more jobs.
On behalf of Ironclad FPV, we would like to thank the Bayhaw Group and Adam for helping us expand on this idea and helping us put it together. Thank you for your time. That's it.
Nice. Thanks, Gio, Ishmael, and Ezekiel. Appreciate you guys sharing. It's a rad shot. You guys got to get some hype music behind that. You got the trailer going. I also like that you guys shared about like how you shared your strengths in building the team and kind of how you guys complemented each other in the beginning. I think it's really, kind of similar to what Theo said. It's important to that team building piece. All right. Last but not least, we have Ben bringing us home. I'll pull up your presentation, Ben, and then you'll be able to get started. All right, go ahead and start whenever you're ready, Ben.
Thank you, Adam. So I'm Benjamin Mitchell. I'm from Davis Senior High School. I'm a senior, and the company that I'm going to be talking to you about today is Mitchell HVAC Distribution. So that's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning units. And this is a retail distribution HVAC company. Next slide, please. So again, I'm Ben Mitchell. I'm the founder of the company, and I basically be in charge of logistics and management and administrative tasks. Aside from me, we would be bringing on some workers who would be dealing with installation and maintenance work, as well as a couple sales representatives to help with customer service and sales. Next slide, please. So Mitchell HVAC Distribution Company aims to sell HVAC units to communities at affordable rates. And our main goal overall is to create an equitable and positive relationship between the customer and their supplier. Because in my research, one of the main friction points for both potential customers and actual customers is positive customer service relationships. And so we really want to focus above all on having a positive customer service relationship with the customer. And the way we're going to do that is by putting a lot of time into having customer service representatives that really listen to people, and in a way that larger HVAC distribution companies can't do simply because of their size and how many customers they have. Next slide, please. So heating and cooling represent approximately half of the average American's energy bill. So that's a very sizable amount of your yearly income that's going towards heating and cooling. We hope to help save people money there. We want to sell more fuel efficient units, which are also better for the environment. And we want to provide more high quality maintenance. A lot of people with in terms of HVAC units, they often think that their unit is broken when in fact it actually just needs maintenance. And a lot of companies take advantage of that by telling them that they need a replacement when in fact they could actually easily fix it and save the customer a lot of money, particularly considering how much it costs to replace a unit. And we'll get into that later. So we hope to help our customers save a lot of money, and we hope that they'll choose us over our competitors by doing so. We aim to foster a less predatory and more like familial community-focused image, which is something that a lot of utility and companies that we'd be competing with really struggle with. And in terms of our marketing strategy, we aim to provide to focus on positive customer testimonials and generating positive word of mouth. So our general strategy is going to be putting out various marketing materials such as sponsored ads on social media, articles, advertisements on websites, and all of that will be leading back towards our website. And then from there, as we start to get customers, we're going to be generating customer testimonials, which we can use to generate more credibility. In terms of location, we're going to be focusing on the Portland, Oregon area. In that general area, we have a larger, roughly 50-mile radius of service around that area. But we're going to be focusing on that area in particular because they've recently been hit by a lot of heat waves, and a lot of people there who didn't have air conditioning units are now realizing that it's a necessity in a modern life. And we really think that we can take advantage of that need in the market. Next slide, please. So here are a couple of the competing companies in that area. There aren't a lot of large distribution companies in that area, so not a lot of companies that are huge companies that'll have a lot of capital that we have to worry about competing with. It's a lot of family-owned or smaller companies or wholesalers. And so in terms of fighting against a company that had a lot of money, we don't really have to worry about that here. What we really have to worry about more is going up against companies that already have a loyal customer base because they know them, they trust them. So what we really have to do to take away those customers is focusing on our first customer deals, which we'll be doing for the first few years of business. We're going to be highlighting our affordability, customer service, as I mentioned earlier, and we hope to sell more fuel efficient units as well. So for people who are more worried about their energy bill and worried about the effects on the environment, we hope to bring them over to our site as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our primary expenses would be the initial acquisition of merchandise, the rent for our sales location, and a construction license, for which we need to put up a bond for. So we get that money back eventually, but all the same. So to sell a single unit, including installation fees, we'd be selling those for about $4,500. That's sufficient to cover our installation expenses, our workers' pay, and if we meet our price target, or our sales target, excuse me, of 50 units sold in the first year, that'll be sufficient to cover all of our yearly expenses, such as rent and stuff like that. It's also a lot less than the average cost to replace an HVAC unit or install an HVAC unit, which is $7,000. So we're saving the customer a lot of money there. As it turns out, it doesn't really cost that much to actually replace it, so we can afford to cut a lot of that extra cost out. And that's how we hope to take our customers, our competitors' customer base away from them and help bring them over to our site, and then generating those positive word of mouth and customer testimonials, which hopefully will snowball and really help us get our business rolling. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here's a spreadsheet I made for the projected costs and profits that we'll be making on our first year of business. As you can see, we're going to be making fairly minimal profits for the first year of business. That'll be about $117,000. And the costs I've listed here are fairly high. In actuality, they'd probably be lower. I just wanted to list like higher costs because they are a possibility, and I wanted to be prepared for that. But to cover all those costs in this somewhat unlikely eventuality, it would take $108,000 to cover all those costs. And even then, we'd still be turning a profit, even with this reduced first customer price. So we'd be selling it for $4,500 rather than the market standard, which is more like $7,000. So we'd be saving a lot of money for the customers, but we'd still be making a profit. That would be enough to cover our expenses for the next year, because again, we're focusing on taking market share rather than making large profit margins. And that's our rough strategy for how we're going to generate customers and how we're going to leverage that into profits later down in a couple of years. Next slide, please. So in closing, I've learned a rich diversity of knowledge in the business field during the course of this internship, as well as the importance of networking and the value of thinking critically about my work. That's what I really enjoyed the most, and what I really felt like I've to run this business. I feel like that was what I took away the most, was how to critically think about how much things will cost and how things will run in practice. So in closing, I'm very grateful to the Bayha Group and Work Wonder, and of course, Adam, for helping me learn these skills and for this opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for bringing us home, Ben. And yeah, I can tell you put a lot of thought and research into your analysis and the projections and stuff like that. My organization just got a big grant. We might need to hire you to look it over, make sure we're not doing anything stupid. That's cool. It's a good skill to have. And then last thing I want to say before I turn it over, just general feedback questions and things like that, is we have one intern, Abby Park, who was unable to present due to circumstances outside of her control. I just wanted to say she was with us throughout the internship and was a valued member of the team, and she's here as a guest. So just wanted to shout you out, Abby, and let you know you were missed, but we appreciate you joining us in the way that you can. All right. I guess June, I'll turn it over to you if you want to open up to feedback or ask a couple questions.
Yeah, I want to also thank everyone watching on YouTube. There's a lot of love that was in the comments. So interns, go back and check out all the shout outs you got from friends and family and guests who were watching. So thanks for that. Questions. Does anyone here have any questions for our interns? Gary, Cody's here. Anyone want to ask a question of the interns? All right, I have a question. So I'm an entrepreneur. Started Bayer Group in 2015, and I'm just curious, for all of you, there's some awesome business ideas and your next steps. And so I'm curious, besides doing this part, is there anything that you would like to share about your takeaway from this internship?
Yeah. So with our company, we just had like ideas, thoughts about it, nothing like centralized from the start. But thanks to this internship, we were able to put all of our ideas together and like officially start the company. Like we would do things in the past, but we didn't like officialize anything. So this really helped us start it.
It's awesome. I know so many of you have already started and are doing the work. It's really exciting to see just what you could do. And those of you who said you would hire your peers, that's awesome. And then to provide them with work experience, and that's awesome. Anyone else want to share about a takeaway from this internship?
I have something to say. Just like in general, like I was always interested in business as just like even since I was younger. And I feel like I learned a lot about like the different like aspects of it. It's not like super simple. It's not just like, oh, like you own a business or people are gonna come by. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I feel like I learned like the dirty work within this internship. And I feel like that was yeah, it meant a lot.
Thanks, Terry. Let's see.
Yeah, let me make one comment. I really enjoy just listening to all of the presentations and the great thoughts into the business plans. And I must say that I've been a farmer for part of my life, so knowing business plans and how to market what you produce has always been a key element. And you've alluded to a lot of things about networking, and those are keys: communication, and I heard perseverance, and I think that's key. But I also say stay in touch with people who can mentor you through that. And through your local communities, there's different types of, I always think of Rotarians and people in the local business region that you should go and visit and show up for breakfast and just say, hey, I'm interested in joining this kind of a group. I know in Davis, there's at least 3 different types of groups like that. And in your local communities, you'll find those too. Those are going to be extremely helpful.
We have a question from YouTube. How did everyone come up with their business ideas? And what were the biggest struggles in trying to develop these ideas and make them feasible?
Hi. So how I came up with my idea came off the top of my head as we were talking about ideas to work on and stuff. And I was like, I really like helping people, and I see like homelessness around me whenever I go like around LA and stuff, and I see like really common among those people, and they're like neglected. So I was like, I should do something to help them. And the things I see that are being done to help them, like they're good and all, but they're not good enough. And I felt like I had to do something more. And like the biggest challenge that I had while trying to make this a reality is getting the finances and getting the logistics of it down, because making a nonprofit is really hard, in my opinion, since I didn't know how they would make money and how I would pay the workers that would work for a nonprofit. And going through this experience and knowing how like things worked within a nonprofit actually gave me a lot of insight in how I could like start this company later in the future.
Thanks, Stephen. I put the, oh, go ahead.
I was just about to answer it. Like, I just got it. I seen a whole bunch of people in town who needed stuff removed, and I I wanted to make some money to help out my family, and I was applying for jobs anyways, and it just started off that. And then more people started to ask, like, can you pressure wash, help me move? And I'm not gonna say no to money. So then I just add that to the service, and it just like kind of snowballed itself.
I'm curious, how many repeat customers do you have?
So right now I have 4 people on a subscription-based service, so monthly. I'm sending 2 of my friends out tomorrow morning to go help them with some junk removal. But I think I would say, like, I think some of it also is the time. I've only been out for like 3 months, so like people might have not had the time to come back. But I'd say like 5, 6. Okay, I don't know. Actually, it could be all of them or not. Most of them are coming back because we try to like focus on providing good service. So
Yes. That's definitely a key for me as an entrepreneur is reputation. I actually have not really advertised about what Bea Group offers. All of our clients have actually been word of mouth. So definitely having a reputation where people will recommend you and tell them about your company is something that I actually have prided myself on. So it's something that it's nice to hear that you're also really focused on service and your customers and their needs. So anyone else want to answer this question from YouTube? Go for it, Summer.
Yeah, so throughout this process, Adam talked about finding our passions and things that we were looking forward to doing in the future. For me, that was food. And so we came up with like different ideas. We had different breakout rooms, and there were like beauty, there was services, there was like clothing, resale, whatever people wanted. And then those who were interested in those types of categories would go into those breakout rooms, and then we would discuss, and that's how teams were formed, and people kind of combined their ideas together and helped one another to develop business plans and business ideas.
Thank you. That's super helpful to understand how the groups formed and how you supported one another.
Hey, June, we call that mindstorming, don't we?
Yes. Mindstorming. Yes.
I'll also say, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Especially like working with Adam, like he doesn't like baby us, like he'll actually be honest and he'll say like how he feels about it, like, oh, I think you should take that out and add this instead. And I like that because everybody has different like perspectives on how things should look and how you would want other people to view your business instead of just yourself because you think that's what other people would like. A struggle I'll probably say for me is like having that like confidence, like, oh yeah, I could do this, but like in your head you're like, I don't think so. I just say like boosting yourself and making sure like that's what you actually want to do, and like like that's what I want to pursue when I grow older, and like actually like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, instead of just having a job that you don't like or you don't feel like comfortable in. So yeah, that's what I learned.
Thank you. That's another fun thing about being an entrepreneur is you don't necessarily have to do it forever. It's constantly, it's up to you how you want to evolve. So Bea Group has definitely evolved since we first started. We do grant writing, and now we run internships. So it has definitely evolved, and so it can just feed whatever your passion interests are. That's the funnest part, I have to say. I love having that title CEO. I loved how all of you named yourself CEO. I just want to celebrate. That's huge because that's part of owning your power and owning what your ideas are and being really excited and proud to put your name and that you this is your brainchild and to make it happen. So I celebrate all of you for having doing this internship, completing the showcase, doing all of the planning and the presentation. And I'm so excited to see all of your businesses. Please do stay in touch with us. Adam, Gary, all of us who work on these projects, we're really interested in staying in contact with you. This is not just a quote unquote job. This is something that is a passion. And it is something where this is the funnest part. So hearing from all of you, seeing what you come up with is the stuff that makes me super excited. I've said this for every showcase. This is my favorite of anything I've ever done. I turned 50 this year and I feel like I finally get to do the thing I really want to do. So it's been a journey. I didn't always get to do this. And certainly the business entrepreneurship, this particular deep dive is near and dear to my heart because I love being an entrepreneur. I love having my own company. I love being able to say yes, to say no. I love being able to do those things and to be able to create the culture and the environment of the company. So when you all started as our interns, we made a big deal about what Baya Group stands for, what my core values are, and what the company's core values are. So as CEO, I get to do that, right? And so this is something where it took me a while to get here. And I'm so excited that you at your age are having the space to think about what you would want to do, what business you want to run. So I'm so excited to see what happens with all of you moving forward. So please do stay in touch with us. And I'm going to check on YouTube to see if there's any questions that I missed. If anyone else wants to share or have a question, please feel free. I'm going to turn it back to Adam. Do you want to wrap up? And then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah. Again, thanks for describing the process and answering some questions, guys. And the piece about, I think not knowing is part of it. And I think that's where it gets exciting and also where you have an opportunity to rise to that occasion. And so for you guys, I will say you are light years ahead of where I was at your age, and I'm doing all right. So I have no doubt. I get really hopeful and excited when I work with a group of young people because I see what, like, sometimes you look in the world and you see negativity, right? But then I get on these calls and I see you guys kind of putting the work in and having these ideas, and it helps me, it keeps me really hopeful and inspired. So I just want to thank you guys for providing that feeling to me, and I learned from each and every one of you, and I'm excited to see what you guys go on to do. So yeah, do keep in touch.
All right, so I'm going to stop the live stream. So this concludes all of the showcases for the summer 2022 summer internship. Yay! I just want to thank everyone who has been part of it. It's been amazing to work with all of you and to thank the communities, Downey Unified, Davis Joint Unified School District, Gary. It's been a long day. Glendale Unified. So thanks to all of the leadership in those communities. Thanks to our partners, all of our deep dive leads. Thanks to all of the interns sticking with it, finishing, doing the showcases. And we'll be back next year with more of these opportunities and showcases.